Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Clark. Let's talk about something incredibly important that often goes overlooked. If you're over 60, there's a quiet battle happening inside your body right now, and your kidneys are on the front lines. The startling truth is that for a vast majority of us, our kidneys are not getting the support they need. But what if I told you there's one simple, powerful rule that could help your kidneys heal themselves, a secret that most seniors, and even many doctors, are missing? Stick with me, because understanding this could genuinely change the course of your health. It's a fact of life that as we age, our bodies change. Our joints ache a bit more, our vision might not be as sharp, and internally, our organs also feel the effects of time. Your kidneys, those two brilliant, bean-shaped organs, are no exception. They are your body's master filtration system, working tirelessly every second of every day. But here's the sobering reality. Studies show that after age 40, kidney function can begin a slow, steady decline. For many, this process accelerates after 60. And it's estimated that a staggering 73% of seniors are living with some level of reduced kidney function. Think of it like the engine in a classic car. For the first few decades, it runs beautifully. But over time, without the right maintenance, it starts to lose a little power, get a little sluggish. You might not notice it at first, but the decline is happening under the hood. The danger with kidney health is that this decline is often silent. You don't feel it until significant function has already been lost. This is why proactive care is not just important, it's absolutely critical. So what's causing this widespread issue? While there are many factors, one of the biggest culprits is hiding in plain sight: our diet. Specifically, a lack of variety. Researchers have found that the average senior in America consumes only about 12 different types of plant foods per week. Let's be honest, does this sound familiar? Maybe it's a potato with dinner, some lettuce and tomato in a sandwich, an apple for a snack, and perhaps onions and carrots in a soup. We fall into comfortable routines. We buy the same groceries, cook the same meals. It's easy, it's familiar. But this dietary monotony is starving the very ecosystem inside of you that your kidneys rely on to stay healthy. This isn't about a bad diet full of junk food, this is about a limited diet. One that simply doesn't provide the diverse toolkit your body needs to fight inflammation and reduce the toxic load on your kidneys. But here is the good news, the wonderfully hopeful news. You have the power to change this. And it starts with one transformative principle. This brings us to the core of our discussion today, the 30-plant rule. The concept is refreshingly simple. Your goal is to eat 30 different types of plant foods each week. Now, before you feel overwhelmed, let me clarify. This isn't about 30 different salads or giant plates of vegetables. This includes everything: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes like beans and lentils, nuts, seeds, and even the herbs and spices you use for flavor. Every single one counts. That pinch of oregano on your chicken, that's one. The handful of walnuts in your oatmeal, that's two. The chickpeas in your soup, that's three. You see how quickly it can add up. This isn't a diet of restriction, it's a principle of addition and diversity. The goal is to move from that limited palette of 12 plants to a vibrant, colorful spectrum of 30 or more. Why is this so effective? The magic lies in your gut microbiome. I want you to imagine you have a lush, vibrant garden living inside your digestive system, populated by trillions of tiny microorganisms. This is your microbiome. When you eat the same 12 plants over and over, it's like only watering one small patch of that garden while the rest withers. But when you introduce a wide variety of plants, you provide different types of fiber and nutrients that feed a diverse range of these helpful gut bacteria. These well-fed, good bacteria thrive, and in return, they produce powerful compounds called short-chain fatty acids. These compounds are superstars for your health. They reduce inflammation throughout your body, strengthen your gut wall, and, critically, they help lower the amount of harmful waste products, or uremic toxins, that your kidneys have to filter. When your gut is unhealthy, it produces more of these toxins that seep into your bloodstream and directly stress your kidneys. So, by cultivating a healthy gut garden with 30 different plants, you are essentially creating an internal support system that takes a significant burden off your kidneys. allowing them to function more efficiently and even begin to heal. The science backs this up emphatically. Recent studies have shown that seniors who follow this rule can see up to a 47% improvement in key kidney health markers. That is a life-changing number, and it's achievable not through a new pill, but through the food you put on your plate. Let's delve deeper into why this is such a profound game changer, especially for those of us over 60. We need to talk about a crucial relationship in your body, the gut-kidney axis. Think of it as a constant, two-way conversation. As I mentioned, a healthy gut filled with diverse, well-fed bacteria acts as a protective shield. But when the gut is unhealthy, what we call dysbiosis, it becomes a source of trouble. When you eat a diet low in plant fiber, but high in certain proteins and processed foods, you're feeding the wrong crowd of bacteria. These harmful microbes ferment proteins in a way that produces those nasty uremic toxins I talked about, like indoxyl sulfate and picresyl sulfate. These aren't just simple waste products, they are inflammatory agents that get absorbed into your bloodstream. And which organ is tasked with cleaning up this toxic mess? Your kidneys. Imagine your kidneys are a sophisticated water purification plant for a city. Now, imagine the river flowing into that plant is suddenly filled with industrial sludge. The plant's filters would get overworked, clogged, and damaged trying to clean the water. That's exactly what happens to your kidneys when your gut is unhealthy. It's sending a constant stream of inflammatory sludge their way. The 30-plant rule is the most effective way to clean up the river at its source. By adding a wide variety of plant fibers, you're starving the sludge-producing bacteria and nourishing the beneficial bacteria that actually protect the riverbank and purify the water before it even reaches the plant. You're not just helping your kidneys filter better, you are fundamentally reducing the amount of toxic material they have to deal with in the first place. This takes an immense strain off of them day in and day out, giving them the breathing room they need to function properly and even repair themselves. Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking, because I hear it in my practice every week. But Dr. Clark, my nephrologist, told me I have to be careful. I have chronic kidney disease, and I need to watch my potassium and phosphorus. Aren't plants, especially fruits and vegetables, loaded with them? This is an incredibly important and valid concern, and I want to address it head-on. You are right to be cautious, and you should absolutely continue to follow your doctor's advice. But the crucial shift in mindset I want to offer you today is moving from a place of fear and avoidance to a place of knowledge and strategy. The solution is not to avoid all plants. That would be a grave mistake. The solution is to learn which plants are your safest allies and how to prepare them intelligently. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Margaret. She's 72 and has stage 3 CKD. She came to me feeling tired, frustrated, and terrified of food. Her diet had become a bland rotation of white bread, a little bit of chicken, and maybe some overboiled green beans. She was scared that a single bite of the wrong thing would land her in the hospital. She was living in a nutritional prison. We started slowly. I explained that we weren't going to throw caution to the wind. Instead, we were going to become strategic. We started by focusing on adding just 5 new, low-potassium vegetables to her week: bell peppers, cabbage, cauliflower, cucumbers, and onions. We made a list. She learned to roast them, stir-fry them, and shred them into salads. We monitored her lab work closely. To her amazement, her potassium levels remained perfectly stable. Her energy, however, did not. For the first time in years, she felt a lift. Encouraged, we then carefully added low-potassium fruits like berries and apples. Then, we incorporated specific herbs. Over 3 months, Margaret went from eating maybe 8 different plants a week to consistently hitting 25, all while keeping her potassium and phosphorus levels safe. Her kidney function numbers actually stabilized, and her inflammation markers went down. Margaret got her confidence back. She was no longer a prisoner of her diagnosis. She was an active, knowledgeable participant in her own health. Her story is a testament that even with existing kidney disease, you can safely and profoundly benefit from increasing plant variety. It's all about having the right roadmap, which is exactly what we're going to build together in the rest of this video. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves and get practical. We've talked about the what and the why, so now let's build the how. We're going to construct your weekly plan, and the absolute foundation, the bedrock of your kidney-healthy plate, is vegetables. They are packed with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, and they are essential for cultivating that diverse gut garden we talked about. So, here is your first challenge, and it's a fun one. Can you get 15 different vegetables onto your plate this week? That might sound like a lot, but I promise you, with a little planning, it's not only achievable but enjoyable. Hitting this number alone will likely double or even triple your current plant intake and get you halfway to our goal of 30. First, let's focus on your go-to team, the low-potassium powerhouses. These are the vegetables you can eat freely and confidently, and they should make up the bulk of your 15. I want you to think of your shopping cart as a painter's palette. We need a variety of colors and textures. Let's start with the cruciferous crew: cauliflower, cabbage, and broccoli florets. These are brilliant because they contain a compound called sulforaphane, which is a potent anti-inflammatory agent. Cabbage is wonderful shredded into slaws. Cauliflower can be roasted until sweet or even mashed as a substitute for potatoes. And small amounts of broccoli add a wonderful texture to stir fries. Next, let's paint with color. The entire family of bell peppers, red, yellow, orange, green, are fantastic low-potassium choices. And guess what? Each color technically counts as a different plant because they have slightly different phytonutrient profiles. Add to that list cucumbers, radishes, celery, and onions. The onions and their cousin, garlic, are particularly important. They contain quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that helps protect the delicate blood vessels within your kidneys. Finally, we have our green giants like green beans, asparagus, and zucchini. They are versatile, easy to cook, and gentle on your system. Just by rotating through these safe, delicious options, you can easily reach 10 to 12 different vegetables without a single worry about potassium. Now, we must address the elephant in the room: the delicious, nutrient-dense vegetables that are higher in potassium. I'm talking about potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, avocados, and dark leafy greens like spinach. For years, patients with kidney concerns have been told to avoid these like the plague. This is where knowledge replaces fear. You can still enjoy many of these foods in moderation by using a simple kitchen technique called leaching. Leaching is just a process of using water to pull out and discard a significant portion of the potassium from a vegetable before you cook it. It's easy and it puts you back in control. Let me walk you through it. Step 1. Peel the vegetable and cut it into small, thin slices or cubes. The smaller the pieces, the more surface area is exposed, and the more effective the process will be. Step 2. Rinse the pieces thoroughly in a colander under cool running water. Step 3. And this is the most important part: submerge the vegetables in a large bowl or pot of warm water. The key is to use a lot of water, a ratio of about 10 parts water to 1 part vegetables. Let them soak for a minimum of 2 hours, but you can go as long as overnight in the refrigerator. Just be sure to change the water every 4 hours. Step 4. After soaking, discard that milky, potassium-rich water and give the vegetables another good rinse. Step 5. Finally, cook the vegetables in a fresh pot of boiling water, and once they are cooked, discard that cooking water as well. This double purging process can remove up to half of the potassium, often bringing it down into a much safer range for you. This simple skill can open a whole world of flavor and nutrients, allowing you to add a baked potato or some tomato sauce back into your diet, carefully and confidently. It's a true game changer. So this week, I want you to aim for 5 servings of vegetables a day. Think of it as 5 opportunities to check another plant off your list. And always remember the simple mantra: aim for color and crunch. A vibrant plate is a kidney protective plate. Now that we have firmly established the vegetable foundation of our plate, let's build upon it with the next 2 essential categories: fruits and grains. These foods provide us with energy, unique types of fiber, and a whole new spectrum of vitamins and protective compounds. But just like with vegetables, the world of fruits and grains can feel like a minefield when you're trying to manage your kidney health. The key, once again, is not to eliminate them, but to choose wisely and strategically to get all the benefits without the risks. Let's start with fruit. The natural sweetness of fruit is one of life's great pleasures. and it's a vital part of a balanced diet. The concern for many, of course, is potassium. High-potassium fruits like bananas, oranges, and cantaloupe are often the first things people are told to cut out. While that is sound advice for many with advanced CKD, it doesn't mean the entire fruit aisle is off limits. In fact, there is a wonderful variety of delicious, low-potassium fruits that are perfect for your kidney health journey. At the top of my list are berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and cranberries are what I consider kidney superfoods. They are bursting with powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins, which give them their rich red and blue colors. These compounds are incredible at fighting systemic inflammation, which is a major driver of kidney damage. An apple a day truly is good advice. Apples are a fantastic source of a soluble fiber called pectin, which is a preferred food for your beneficial gut bacteria. Grapes, cherries, plums, and peaches are also excellent, safe choices that add wonderful variety. And don't forget tropical options like pineapple, which contains an enzyme called bromelain that can aid digestion. I recommend aiming for 2 servings of these safe fruits each day. A serving isn't a giant bowl. Think in terms of 1 medium apple, about a cup of berries, or a generous handful of grapes. This is a perfect amount to satisfy your sweet tooth and provide your body with valuable nutrients, without overloading it with sugar or potassium. A great strategy is to have 1 serving with your breakfast, perhaps some sliced strawberries on your oatmeal, and another as a satisfying afternoon snack. This can help you beat that 3 p.m. energy slump and prevent you from reaching for a cookie. Remember, each different fruit you eat this week is another number you can proudly check off on your list of 30. Next, let's talk about grains. Grains provide the carbohydrates our bodies need for fuel, but for those with kidney concerns, the main watchword here is phosphorus. Many healthy whole grains, like brown rice, whole wheat bread, and oats, are naturally higher in phosphorus and potassium. While these are excellent foods for the general population, if you have moderate to advanced CKD, making some simple swaps can make a huge difference in keeping your mineral levels in a safe range. Your best choices are often the more refined grains, because the refining process removes the outer bran and germ, which is where most of the phosphorus and potassium is stored. Excellent options include white rice, couscous, bulgur, and pearled barley. Bulgur and couscous are fantastic because they cook quickly and have a lovely, light texture that's perfect for salads or as a bed for a stir-fry. Sourdough bread can also be a better choice than whole wheat, as the natural fermentation process can make the phosphorus less absorbable by your body. It's about making smart substitutions, not about eliminating an entire food group. Aim to have a portion of these grains, about the size of your fist or a quarter of your plate, with your main meals. By choosing these kidney-friendlier options, you can get the energy you need and add more unique plant types to your weekly count, without stressing your system. We've carefully built the foundation of our plate with a rainbow of vegetables, added the sweet energy of safe fruits, and included the steady fuel of kidney-friendly grains. Now it's time for the master strokes, the elements that add rich flavor, texture, and a powerful nutritional punch. These are the finishing touches that will not only complete our meals, but will also serve as our secret weapon for easily cruising past the 20 plant mark and reaching our goal of 30. I'm talking about plant-based proteins like legumes, healthy nuts and seeds, and the incredibly vibrant world of herbs and spices. Let's begin with legumes. This family includes beans, lentils, and chickpeas. For anyone focused on gut health, legumes are superstars. They are loaded with the specific types of fiber that your beneficial gut bacteria absolutely love to feast on. However, I know they can be a source of anxiety for those with kidney concerns because they do contain potassium and phosphorus. The solution, as with so much of our journey, lies in just simple words: portion control. We are not suggesting you eat a giant bowl of bean chili. Instead, think of legumes as a powerful condiment or a small side. A quarter cup to a half cup serving, a few times a week, is a fantastic way to reap the benefits without overloading your system. A few spoonfuls of lentils stirred into a vegetable soup, or some chickpeas sprinkled over a salad, adds protein, fiber, and another number to your weekly count. Here's a crucial tip: opt for canned beans. The canning process naturally helps some of the minerals leach out into the liquid. By pouring them into a colander and rinsing them thoroughly under running water for a minute, you can wash away a significant amount of the remaining sodium and potassium, making them a much safer choice. Next up are nuts and seeds. These are nutritional powerhouses, packed with healthy fats, protein, and more fiber. But again, they are potent, so a little goes a long way. This is not about snacking on handful after handful. Your mantra here should be a sprinkle, not a scoop. A small, closed handful, or about 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, is the perfect amount. Some excellent choices include walnuts, which are rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, and macadamia nuts, which are naturally one of the lowest options in phosphorus and potassium. Chia seeds and ground flax seeds are wonderful additions. You can stir a tablespoon into oatmeal, yogurt, or a smoothie to get a huge fiber boost. Think of them as a crunchy, satisfying topping that elevates your meal. Finally, we come to my favorite part, the category that I consider the key to effortlessly reaching your goal of 30 plants, herbs, and spices. This is where the magic happens. Every single fresh or dried herb or spice you add to your cooking counts as a unique plant. This is the simplest, safest, and most flavorful way to boost your number. More importantly, herbs and spices are the answer to reducing your salt intake. When your food is bursting with the flavors of basil, oregano, rosemary, or cumin, you won't even miss the salt shaker. This is critically important, as lowering sodium is one of the best things you can do to manage blood pressure and protect your kidneys from further strain. I encourage you to be adventurous. Get a pot of fresh parsley or basil for your windowsill. Try adding a pinch of thyme to your chicken, some fresh dill to your cucumber salad, or a sprinkle of cinnamon on your morning apple slices. Don't forget powerful anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric and ginger. Each one adds a unique set of protective compounds and a new number to your tracker. Just imagine a simple dinner of roasted cauliflower, bell peppers, and onions, seasoned with garlic, oregano, and parsley. Just like that, you have 6 plants in a single side dish. This is how you win the game. Theory is one thing, but seeing is believing. To show you just how simple, delicious, and unintimidating this way of eating can be, let's walk through a sample day. I don't want you to see this as a rigid prescription you must follow, but rather as a blueprint, an example of the principles we've discussed put into practice. You'll see how the plants start adding up naturally, without you ever feeling like you're eating a strange or restrictive diet. Let's begin with breakfast. We'll start the day with a comforting, warm bowl of cream of wheat or a simple oatmeal. Now, instead of reaching for brown sugar, we're going to top it with a cup of mixed berries. Let's use blueberries and strawberries, which we know are packed with those inflammation-fighting antioxidants. For a satisfying crunch, healthy fats, and a boost of fiber, we'll add a tablespoon of chia seeds. Right there, in your first meal of the day, you have a powerhouse of 4 different plants, and you've started your morning with a meal that is gentle on your kidneys and great for your gut. For lunch, let's imagine a wonderfully savory and simple lentil soup. We'll build the flavor base with the classic trio of sautéed onions, carrots, and celery. We'll add a vegetable broth, and then stir in a half cup of thoroughly rinsed, canned lentils. We won't rely on salt for flavor instead. We'll season it beautifully with dried thyme and some fresh parsley at the end. You can enjoy this nourishing soup with a slice of delicious sourdough bread on the side. Think about that for a moment. It's only lunchtime, and we have already consumed 11 distinct plant foods. We're well on our way. Mid-afternoon is often when cravings for sweets or salty snacks kick in. This is the perfect time for our fruit snack. A crisp, refreshing apple is the perfect choice. It's easy, portable, and helps bridge the gap to dinner. Now for dinner, let's have a small, palm-sized portion of lean protein, like a piece of roasted chicken. But the flavor will come from our plants. We'll season it with plenty of fresh rosemary and minced garlic. The real star of the plate, however, will be a generous portion of roasted vegetables. We'll toss a colorful mix of red bell peppers, zucchini, and cauliflower florets with a little olive oil and roast them until they are tender and sweet. On the side, instead of a heavy potato, we'll have a serving of light, fluffy couscous. Look at what we've done. In a single day, with 3 simple meals and a snack, We have easily incorporated 18 different plants. You can see now how reaching a goal of 30 over a full 7 days is not a daunting challenge, but rather the natural result of making a series of small, thoughtful, and flavorful choices. As you prepare your meals, I want you to visualize the simple plate method. Imagine a line drawn down the middle of your dinner plate. Fill one entire half of that plate with non-starchy vegetables like the roasted ones we just described. Then, divide the other half into 2 smaller quarters. One of those quarters is for your lean protein, and the final quarter is for your kidney-friendly grain, like the couscous. This simple visual tool ensures you are prioritizing vegetables every single time. And to make this journey even easier, embrace convenience. The frozen food aisle is your best friend. Frozen fruits and vegetables are just as nutritious as fresh, and they eliminate any worry about chopping or spoilage. Don't shy away from pre-chopped vegetables or bagged salad mixes from the produce section. If that convenience means you're more likely to eat them, it is money and time well spent on your health. Finally, cook once and eat twice. Make a big batch of that lentil soup or a large tray of roasted vegetables. That way, you have a delicious, kidney-friendly meal ready and waiting for you on a day you don't feel like cooking. We have covered a tremendous amount of ground together. We've talked about the science, the foods, the meal plans, and the strategies. But before we conclude, I need to share what is arguably the most important piece of advice in this entire discussion. This is the part that ensures your journey is not only effective but, above all, safe. Your health is a partnership between you and your healthcare team, and that partnership is paramount. So let me be perfectly clear before you make any significant changes to your diet. Especially if you have already been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, it is absolutely essential that you have a conversation with your doctor, your nephrologist, or a registered dietitian who specializes in renal health. Please think of this video as a powerful educational tool, a roadmap to a conversation. But your medical team knows your specific case. They know your lab values, your GFR, your potassium and phosphorus levels, and the medications you are on. They can help you personalize this approach to fit your unique health profile perfectly. This conversation is non-negotiable if you fall into certain categories. If you have advanced kidney disease stage 4 or 5, which typically means a GFR below 30, your dietary needs are highly specific and must be professionally managed. If you are taking medications specifically to lower your potassium, any increase in plant-based foods must be done under strict medical supervision. And if you are on dialysis, your nutritional requirements are entirely different and must be guided by your renal dietitian. Your safety is the #1 priority. For everyone else, the key to success is a gradual approach. Please do not go from eating 12 plants one week to 30 the next. That can be a shock to your digestive system. This is not a race, it is a gentle and sustainable lifestyle change. As I advised my patient Margaret, start with a manageable goal. Aim for 20 different plants in your first week. Then, the week after, aim for 22 or 23. Add just 2 or 3 new things each week. This gives your gut microbiome time to adapt and allows you to pay close attention to how your body feels. Listening to your body is a skill, and it's one I want you to cultivate. As you embark on this journey, I want you to watch for the green flags, the positive signs of progress. One of the very first things people often report is an increase in energy and a reduction in that feeling of persistent fatigue. As you feed your gut the fiber it loves, you may also notice your digestion becomes more regular and comfortable. And over the course of months, as you stick with it, you and your doctor will be monitoring your lab work. The goal is to see those kidney function numbers stabilize or, in some cases, even improve. You might also notice better blood pressure control. These are the wonderful, life-affirming signs that your small, daily choices are adding up to a profound, positive change in your health. We've reached the end of our discussion, but this is just the beginning of your journey. I hope you feel a renewed sense of hope and empowerment. The message I want you to take away today is that you hold incredible power on the end of your fork. The path to supporting and healing your kidneys is not about restriction, fear, or bland, boring food. It is a path of abundance, of color, of flavor, and of variety. It's about nourishing your body from the inside out and giving it the tools it needs to thrive. So now, it's time to take the first step. Here's my challenge to you. For this coming week, I want you to simply start counting. Don't even worry about hitting a specific number. Just become aware of your current habits. Then, I want you to try to add just 3 new, different plants to your diet. That's it. Maybe it's trying raspberries instead of strawberries on your oatmeal. Maybe it's buying a bell pepper that's a different color than you usually do. Or maybe it's buying 1 new herb or spice to try with your dinner. It's that simple. Once you have your number for the week, I want you to come back to this video and share it with us in the comments below. Let us know what new things you tried. There's incredible strength and motivation to be found in community, and by sharing your journey, you could inspire someone else to begin theirs. To make this even easier and more fun, I've created a simple 1-page 30-plant tracking sheet that you can download for free. The link is right there in the video description. Print it out, stick it on your refrigerator, and treat it like a fun weekly scavenger hunt for your health. If you found this information valuable and wanted to continue learning how to take control of your health, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and click that little notification bell. That way, you won't miss our upcoming videos. Next week, we'll be taking a deep dive into the 5 kidney superfoods every senior should know about. And finally, the greatest gift you can give is the gift of health. If you know a friend, a partner, a sibling, or a neighbor over 60 who could benefit from this information, please share this video with them. You never know whose life you might change. Thank you for your time and your trust. Be well, and I'll see you in the next video.